that? Is that who I think it is? It is. It's the newest YouTube partner, Dippedinpoison. Let's go. Hi, yes, hello. I am back, and this is the first video as a YouTube partner. So first of all, thank you so much for liking and subscribing and watching all the videos. There's not that many, but you watch them aggressively, so I really appreciate that. Thank you for being so aggressive. And this is also, side note, my first video in my brand new apartment. I spent the first part of this month moving and settling in, and once I got settled in, I crumbled under the weight of a couple of very manageable tasks. But I finally took the 5 minutes to do them all, so I am here. And we're going to kick off being a YouTube partner by jumping into r/am I the asshole? This is my newest stim. But am I the asshole for suggesting we lock up the Christmas presents after what my niece did last year? The drama? The drama. Okay, let's go. Let's figure this out. Let's find out. Every year, my siblings and I, alongside our families, spend Christmas with our parents. We stay at their house for a few days. Everyone opens gifts together. It's hectic, but a lot of fun. The kids enjoy one big sleepover with their cousins. My mom likes having everyone home again. We all pitch in. It's a win-win. It sounds cute. It sounds good. Last year, my brother married Sally. She has a 7-year-old daughter, Mindy. This was their first Christmas with us. It seems like they were having a fun time. Christmas Eve, all the kids went finished basement to sleep. We told the kids not to open up gifts without us and to wake us up when they did. This was repeated several times. Once the kids were asleep, we put all the gifts under the tree and eventually went to bed ourselves. The next morning, around 6 a.m., I wake up early, head downstairs, and I find the living room a mess. Half of the gifts were unwrapped. Several of them had been ripped from their boxes. There was Mindy playing with some of the toys. Most of the ones weren't even hers. Oh, no. She knows how to read, and they were all labeled, so she knew this. I was in shock. I went and I got my brother, Sally alongside the rest of the adults. Sally was super embarrassed. My mom was very upset. The other kids weren't up yet, so we tried to salvage what we could while Sally talked to Mindy. Not everything could be fixed, and she had broken a couple of toys completely. Oh no, Mindy. The broken ones weren't even her own toys. Luckily, not everything was damaged, and even the boxes that were, kids didn't notice. My nephew, sister's son, had one of his big gifts destroyed, and he was sad when everyone else got theirs while he was told he'd have to wait for the new one to come back in. Sally, my brother, reimbursed everyone. Mindy didn't get to open gifts with everyone, but joined the festivities later. She apologized, but kept making excuses. She said she didn't want to wait, and she wanted to see what everyone else got. Oh, Mindy, baby, no. We were all preparing to go to my parents again this year. Put in the group chat that we should either lock the door to the living room this year or put a gate around the tree so no one can get to it. I didn't even name names, just specifically said no one. Sally and my brother got mad, accusing me of treating Mindy like a baby or an animal. I said I'm not, but this is a precaution so none of the kids are tempted. I said this isn't necessary and I'm holding a mistake over Mindy's head. I said no, I'm not, trying to make sure we have no repeat. Because I know it'll be asked. We got a little edit here. Mindy doesn't have autism or ADHD, and even if she did, my daughter has ADHD, and both my sister's kids are on the spectrum. They knew better. I don't think Mindy was malicious. She was only 6, but I do think precautions should be made. My parents agree with me, and my brother is mad that I put it in their heads. Am I the asshole? No. No, absolutely not. I am more amazed that in this situation, the brother and then the mother of Mindy is shocked that everyone's like, hey, let's just make sure that doesn't happen again, because it sounds like Mindy almost took out Christmas by herself for some reason. I could definitely see parents wanting to like see the best in their kid. That's valid, but it's like the kid kind of did a thing that ruined it for other people. OP is definitely not the asshole on this. Oh. My parents, this is how my parents handled this stuff, because like we were curious little fuckers growing up. They told us that there was Christmas magic on gifts, and if we touched the gift to, like, you know, check it, whatever, it would disappear. Never touch it. I still will not touch a gift. I won't do it. I'm like, nah. Not because of Christmas magic, but like fear. Fear now. Am I the asshole for being upset that my in-laws are coming on my honeymoon? I feel like there's just some titles sometimes in this thread where it feels like it's gonna be an easy, like, oh my god, no, like, you're not the asshole. That's a weird one. There's always a plot twist, right? I feel like there's a plot twist. Let's find out. So here's the lowdown. My 28 female fiance, 27 male, and I met our sophomore year of college and started dating post-grad. We've been together for 2 years. My fiance was not close with his family growing up at all. In the 2 years we've been dating, I've only met his parents like 3 times. That doesn't bother me. Like I said, he has a lot of resentment due to his upbringing and just doesn't particularly like spending much time with them. Nothing bad happened to him on their part, but outside of his basic needs being taken care of, a little emotional support. My fiance was given a terminal diagnosis a few months ago with a 2-year life expectancy. Oh my god, OP, I'm sorry. Treatments are not an option, so we're just living life to the fullest. After he learned of his illness, he and his family have gone a bit closer in that they see each other more often. His family, very, very, very wealthy, gifted us a honeymoon as our wedding gift. All right, I see where this is going. My husband and I chose... My confidence just plummeted. Puerto Vallarta. I don't know how to read. I'm a Twitch streamer normally.
Puerto Vallarta.
Because he wanted a relaxing resort vacation and to go snorkeling together. One last bougie trip from my bucket list. But his parents also chose the dates of the honeymoon without asking us. So they chose to book the trip so that his birthday was during it. Got it. Then they said they wanted to spend his last birthday with him, so they'll be joining us. They did get their own suite at the resort, and both of his siblings got rooms, so like there's a whole family event now. Got it. Don't get me wrong, I am really grateful they're gifting us this experience, but I'm annoyed they deliberately made it during a time that they could conveniently join our honeymoon. I know he's sick. I know they want to spend time with him. My fiance won't say anything to them because he doesn't want to fight with anyone during his final time, which I understand. I think I just wish they could have booked a separate trip for the family to go on rather than during our honeymoon. A time that we have to spend together alone. Exactly. Which honestly, we get rarely these days. Between hospital visits, seeing friends, checking things off that he wants to experience, we're pretty busy. Like I mentioned earlier, money's not an issue and could easily have been made into a separate trip, but they chose to make the trip during his birthday, so they had the excuse to join it. When they told us that they were also coming on the trip, I said that this was a little strange. Now they're mad at me for not understanding how important it is for them to spend my fiance's birthday with them. The entire family thinks I am wrong for being upset about this. His parents have said I will barely even see them, so I shouldn't be upset. But we are staying at the same resort with rooms right next to each other. So, am I the asshole for telling my in-laws it's weird that they're coming out on my honeymoon with us? This is such a specific situation. I do not think OP is an asshole at all because the family has a ton of money. They could have very much made 2 separate trips or even tacked on at the very end. Like, they could have merged it so it, like, went to honeymoon and then they came out for, like, birthday stuff. They could have done that. But in any situation I could think of, I would not want I don't want a honeymoon to be a extended family event. No, it's giving medieval times when they would check to see if you consummated the wedding. I don't like that. I don't like that feeling. I don't think the family of the fiance gets that. You know, I think they're just too stuck on trying to make amends, I guess, or make up time, whatever. But yeah, OP's not the asshole, especially for saying it's weird, because it's fucking weird. That's weird. And they have rooms next to each other. Make them regret that. Just one last shebang, you know? Just make them regret it. Oh god. Am I the asshole for not accepting my boyfriend's gift? Okay. This one, the general experience. Whenever you just date a very unhealed person, is too real. I feel like we all go through that before we like work on ourselves. But anyway, let's make it through this one. Me, 24-year-old female, and my boyfriend, 25-year-old male, have been together for 8 years. One of our favorite bonding activities is watching reality TV together. We recently watched the show Unexpected and took a liking to James and Lily's story. In the show, James gives Lily a promise engagement ring and tries to say it's just a gift. We thought it was hilarious and joked about it for weeks, and now it's been 3 months since we watched that show. My boyfriend and I went to my family dinner and everything was going normally until he told me he had something for me, pulled out a ring box, started crying, and got extremely excited since we've been talking about taking the next step in our relationship for years now. My family was ecstatic for me. My sister started recording on his phone. I could barely speak, and he just looked at me smiling. I said yes, hugged him. He put the ring on my finger. I see where this is going. As my dad was going to get the champagne, my boyfriend said, that wouldn't be necessary. It's just a gift. Everyone looked extremely confused, including myself, and then he repeated himself and said, it was just a gift. I couldn't believe that he would embarrass me like that, so I took the ring off, gave it back, went up to my parents' room. My sister came up to say that my dad kicked him out. A few hours later, I see that he posted the video on his Snapchat story saying that I fell for it. When I got back home, I told him how embarrassed I felt, and he told me I was overreacting and it was just a joke, and I'd get my real ring eventually. That was 2 weeks ago and we've barely spoken since. Am I the asshole? No, baby, you're the victim. Oh my God. Oh, this motherfucker just played with her emotions, said, I'm gonna get not just you, your entire family, thinking that after 8 years and there's no ring. After, like, obviously they were dating as teenagers and stuff, but 8 years. I think OP should follow this and dump his ass. What the fuck? Okay. This is a disclaimer. I, as someone who has unfortunately dated cis men in the past, right? I feel like I saw this title and without reading anything else, I'm like, I feel like I would have wrote something like this in the past. So let's am I the asshole for freaking out over my husband's thoughtful gift? Yesterday was my birthday. My husband was getting on my case lately about buying too many peppermint mocha lattes from Starbucks. Throw the whole man away. For 2 days before my birthday, he's hyping up this gift he will give me for the first thing in the morning. All right. So he surprised me with a homemade peppermint mocha latte that he made. Is that the gift? Like, for the entirety of their birthday, is that the gift? A mocha latte? A peppermint mocha latte? Okay, let's keep reading. The twist is he made it with with essential oils. No. No. With essential oils that some random lady at a health food store assured him is okay. I have a panic attack after he tells me he fed me essential oils, as you should, bestie. I felt enraged and hated when I looked on the essential oil bottle and it clearly states it is for use in a humidifier. He didn't even read the bottle before deciding to make me this sweet gesture with it. I have never been interested in essential oils, so this is just not their thing. So where did it come from? So he has no reason to think I would want to ingest this. He says he isn't the asshole because how could he know a shopkeeper would lie? Am I the asshole for blowing up and telling him I am so disappointed? Baby, no, you could do no wrong. That is not your fault. That is his fault. Update. Poison control. I think it's telling the point that OP had to call poison control, over a sweet gift. Poison control said I'll be fine, and it's probably the panic attack that fucked up my stomach. He bought the food safe peppermint so he could redo the drink safely now. Husband understands I am not an essential oil gal and won't be giving me any more ever. So your husband just hit potentially like I don't even want to call that bare minimum, like not serving or poisoning your partner. But we are talking about I'm heavily assuming, and I would bet all my money on this, that it's a cis man here, it's a straight man here. I'm a stepcat mom, and there's a lot of noises happening now. I'm gonna be right back. Am I the asshole for calling police on my ex for abandoning his child at mine while his girlfriend was giving birth? All right, let's go. Yep. I, 32 female, have been married to my ex Dan, 35 male, for 6 years before we divorced at the end of 2020 due to him cheating with Kate. Solid, exceptional reason for the divorce. Kate and Dan have a son who is 3, which was conceived and born during the pandemic while I was under high risk. And their entire affair has cost me some of my physical health. Oh no. Dan's a piece of shit. Not just a mental one. So yeah, enduring cheating, and then we're at the start of the pandemic here, so God. After the divorce, Dan moved out from my house, and we haven't spoken since. So we got like 3 years of not talking. Good for you. Last week, Dan suddenly dropped his son in my house without giving me... Okay, so they haven't talked in 3 years. They haven't... No cheating happened 3 years past... And then Dan shows up and drops his son off at my house without giving me any warning or explanation. He only mumbled that Kate was giving birth and that their second child needs him in the delivery room due to complications. He left before I could protest, and I have tried texting and calling him multiple times and received no reply. I do not know why he thought it was a good idea, as I had plans, and they definitely don't involve someone else's child. I'm like, my plan going into these was not reading it with any, like, you know, like, no sides. My side has been picked already, just a heads up. I ended up calling the police and have told them what happened, explained it is not my child, and I haven't agreed to look after him, and his dad is not responding. They took the child, and I haven't heard anything until very early hours of the same day when my ex called me, calling me an asshole, as the cops found him in the hospital and basically forced him out of the delivery room so he can look after his child. Yeah, that makes sense. So he missed the birth of his second, and Kate has some complications, so she's in intensive care. He also started shouting, saying that his and Kate's parents are living at the opposite ends of the country and have medical conditions too, which means they can't look after his son. I have told him that he should have used his brain cells and thought about it in advance instead of dumping the product of his affair at my house. Knowing that me and him are not civil, but was called even bigger asshole. I have mentioned this to some of my family and friends, and while some people are on my side, others agree with my ex, saying I should have looked after the kid and calling them an asshole for calling the cops. I think calling the cops is always a bad move, but you know, outside of that, not the asshole. The product of his affair was dropped off at her house after 3 years of no communication, no prior heads up. Like, they had about, 8-9 months to figure out a plan of action. That ex-husband, no, I would be borderline violent. That is wild. Oh my God. I am done microdosing misery on those, especially the last couple of ones. So we're gonna wrap it up there. We're gonna wrap it up there with Am I the Asshole? And I think I'm a little surprised because I'll skim that thread, and I think I generally find people being the asshole and they're not aware of it. In this one, not so much. Thank you for joining me with that. I'm excited to hear if you didn't agree with some of them. Like, let me know why you thought maybe opposite, but also drop a cool bug fact for our editor Jojo. But thank you for being here for the first video since getting YouTube partner. I'm so excited, and we should now be moving on a schedule. So if you have adorably enjoyed these videos, you can start expecting them hopefully weekly moving from here. So I hope you get excited on that. If you get really excited that, because I am. So thank you for today. Thank you for hanging out, and make sure you stand up, stretch, grab some water, don't text your ex, and I will see you next time.
Puerto Vallarta.